William, congratulations on winning Limelight's Critics' Choice of Australian Artist of the Year. What does this sort of award mean to you?
Well, thank you, Steve. So it's a huge honour to be, given this honour of, the Critics Award. I'm very grateful, and I'd also like to, do a shout out to all the other magnificent um, artists and composers as well who are nominated. Who are worthy of this great award, and to be recognised in the Australian industry for, I guess our part of the musical journey and to engage with like the broader community, through our through our various journeys. Yeah.
You've turned 40 this year. What did that particular milestone mean to you?
What it meant to me, turning 40, I see this sort of next sort of several to 10 years as sort of my prime, and particularly in the next couple of years, like sort of overlaps. And this year we've had one of my orchestra pieces premiered, Apita Thenti Mamorto, which means we carry the Coolman and sing the country together, performed by the amazing Queensland Symphony Orchestra, where it all started for me some 20 odd years ago, being conducted by the amazing band Northey. So that was special, and also another piece for the Queensland Music Festival, just to kickstart the music trails with my mum in mind, and an ensemble of great musicians out of Charleville.
Yes, your mum, May Barton, there was kind of an inspiration for that lullaby that you mentioned, to sing and carry a Coolamon on country together. And can you talk a little bit about how she used to sing to you as a child? I remember you saying last time we spoke, you remember her singing and calming the earth as a child.
It was just a natural part of, I guess, mum's existence, which is still, an existence of her being in that special, I guess, aura that attracts people to be with mum, to be present in her presence. Um, I remember that distinct sort of the humming, and how that resonates, from my mum's body, I guess, to me as a baby. And I guess if you think about, it is really something special about that. And and I guess the notion of the lullaby, I really want to make a dedication to humanity, in that statement, where we sometimes as a humanity we forget about the really simple, pure and innocent, beautiful moments that we have on this life, especially when we're born, and to try to reflect on that, and how important language, a part of the lullaby, is important to um, each clan, each tribe of the world, and put them into that headspace. Put them meaning put put us into the right headspace wherever we may be, on the concert hall stage in Carnegie Hall, or the Opera House in Sydney, or up here in QPAC in Brisbane, or the natural amphitheatres of the Australian bushland, to put us into a headspace of comfort and feeling safe, and remember those lullabies, the chant of our ancestors that are handed down, So, in that perspective of sitting around the fire in the night out in the middle of the bush, or sitting around the fire in the house, with a piano, all these things have a common thread through humanity, and I want to be a part of that.
Olivia Ansell, I was speaking to yesterday at Sydney Festival, and she was talking about you experimenting or using your voice a lot more in concerts. Can you talk a bit more about that?
Yeah, look, mate, I always, was and still am, will be a Bon Scott fan, from ACDC. But that aside, I think the human voice is this unique embodiment of everyone's DNA, this spiritual and electrical flow of the earth. And again, sort of coming back to the lullaby, the chant, we all have an internal chant that sometimes we might search for, or it searches us out, So I'm very much just letting that flow, and being a part of that this chapter in my life, of really getting my vocals to where I want to, like in my mind musically. And but all that journey of me as a human being is in the voice. When you hear me sing certain things, and when I ad lib things, or when I'm writing them for the choir or other singers. It's a really quite a beautiful thing. So that to answer your question, it's special because Mum's a singer, and so like her voice is, being part of that journey with me. And I want to be able to sing the language of our people, whether that's sing vocally, just with the vocals, the voice, or through the didgeridoo, and how I harmonize through the didgeridoo and actually be at one with the instrument and actually really project yourself, on a spiritual level. Yeah.
You started playing the didgeridoo at age 7. Can you recount a little bit for us, please, how your late uncle Arthur Peterson was, and how he introduced you to the didgeridoo at that age?
Sure. So my mum and dad, they ran this cultural centre called Calcutta Tribal Council. And so, I used to wag school a little bit, maybe a little bit too much. And so I learned about all these cultures around the world. And where we get to is my uncle Arthur Peterson, experiencing my uncle and other elders of that same, I guess, strength of the land and the holders of culture. They're very powerful people, aunties and uncles. And I wanted to be a part of that mystery. And that mystery is that aura. So it's when someone sees like a rock star, or someone famous, or that same feeling, you get that same feeling around our traditional elders if you just have some time to, to listen and breathe with them, let them hear, let them, hear their story. So I wanted to hear my uncle's story through the didgeridoo, and that sound. So it's fascinated me, and it still does to this day. And it's not about playing fast and fancy, and all these great sort of technical virtuosic moments. It's about the true raw nature of it and how one note can hold so much spirit, and how that resonates with me, and how I guess that is a linear journey where what I do now, yes, there might be certainly some things that are trademarks of William Barton in his modern world, but perhaps they've been thought about before, just in a different context. And so I want to acknowledge that, that's very important, to acknowledge the ancestors or the embodiment of that journey. I'm a part of that legacy, so what I add to this life, in my chapter in my life, I hope someone else picks up on that and does their own thing with it, but acknowledging the foundations,